little but mighty!
Hello everyone, my name is Miss Geraldine and I am an English teacher and curriculum specialist at Little but Mighty. I grew up loving to read and write stories and I hope to inculcate a similar passion in my students. In my first Write for Fun blog post, I shared a creative writing exercise on how to rewrite your favourite story, especially if you feel that it did not do justice to your favourite character. However, what if you don't have a favourite story or character that you feel inspired enough to write about? Fret not, because today you are going to learn how to add your own spin to a type of story we are all familiar with, ancient myths. Myths are old stories that have been passed down from ancient times and are still retold today. Ancient civilizations created myths unique to their own beliefs and traditions, so they can vary greatly across culture to culture. Nevertheless, there is one similarity. Ancient myths all feature non-humans as their main characters, be it gods, goddesses, or other supernatural creatures. Be it from Greek, Norse, Chinese, or Hindu mythology, I'm sure some of you grew up hearing a lot of these ancient tales. Did you know, however, that many people have found great fame and success retelling these ancient myths? Take the Marvel Thor movies, for example. Thor, the god of thunder, and his estranged brother Loki, the god of mischief, are actually both prominent characters from Norse mythology. Let me give you another well-known example. Rick Riordan's Percy Jackson and the Olympian series. For those of you who have yet to read it, I highly encourage you to check it out. The series consists of 5 books and follows the adventures of Percy Jackson and his friends. The exciting twist of the series is that Percy Jackson is actually a demigod. So while his mother is a mortal human being like all of us, his father is actually the immortal god of the sea, Poseidon. As a result, Percy Jackson has some really wicked cool water-related powers, which I'll leave you to read about yourself when you pick up the series. What Rick Riordan did in the Percy Jackson series is what you will be learning how to do today, retelling an ancient myth with your own unique spin. There are 2 main ways you can do this. First of all, think of the modern context. So try to reimagine these ancient myths using a modern situation. These myths may have been created during ancient times and by old civilizations, but why not introduce elements of the modern world in your own retelling? This will definitely make modern readers of the 21st century very interested to read about these ancient tales from centuries ago. For example, in Rick Riordan's Percy Jackson series, instead of making the Olympian gods live in ancient Greece, he actually relocates them to New York City, where they reside at the top of the Empire State Building. The gods also engage with popular culture and trends that we are familiar with. Poseidon, for instance, even wears Birkenstocks, khaki Bermuda shorts, and a Hawaiian shirt instead of the ancient Greek toga that he usually wears in myths. In your own retellings, maybe you can imagine these divine characters chilling out at Starbucks or pigging out at McDonald's. Secondly, make your characters more relatable. Besides modernizing the main characters from ancient myths, why not make them likable as well? Most ancient myths portray these divine beings as terrifying and harsh rulers. This is likely because myths serve to teach people about morals and virtues. So in your retelling, why not make these gods and goddesses, who are conventionally portrayed as very terrifying and scary, much more relatable? Take Poseidon in original Greek mythology, for example. Conventionally portrayed as powerful and intimidating, he often metes out extreme punishments to anyone who he feels has wronged him. Once, after Athena became the patron goddess of the city of Athens following a competition with Poseidon, Poseidon sent a monstrous flood to punish the Athenians for not choosing him. Known also by the title Earthshaker, Poseidon was also famed for sending out terrible earthquakes and storms as a means of punishment. Sounds like a pretty terrifying and upsetting guy to be reading about in a storybook, right? That was probably what Rick Riordan was thinking too when he decided to make Poseidon, along with his other godly brother and sisters, more relatable and likable in the Percy Jackson series. So how did he make these gods and goddesses less intimidating and more accessible to his readers? While still retaining their main characteristics from Greek mythology, he portrayed these gods and goddesses as less hateful towards humanity but more benevolent and forgiving. Furthermore, he humanizes these gods and goddesses with unique and amusing traits. Apollo, the god of healing and poetry, is always reciting cringe-worthy poems wherever he goes, much to the annoyance of the other gods. Meanwhile, Apollo's twin sister Artemis, the goddess of the hunt, is revealed to enjoy pulling pranks on him, a mischievous act we would never usually associate with divine beings. In your own retellings, introduce a relatable trait that you want your god or goddess to have. Perhaps you can consider some common traits or behaviors that you see around you every day. Just imagine how amusing it would be if Hades, the god of the dead, was addicted to TikTok. Or if Aphrodite, the goddess of love and beauty, was obsessed over a K-pop boy band. So there you have it. 2 main steps on how to add your own spin to an old myth. If you know of a particular myth that you wish to rewrite or adapt, don't be afraid to do it because many writers have done the same. It can be a great way to get yourself in the habit of writing creatively. It may even be the first step you take to becoming a best-selling author in the future. Till my next post, happy writing! If you had fun watching this video, do remember to like and subscribe.